Welcome to another video and to another organ. Today I'm at St Andrew's Church in Finghall in North Yorkshire. This is part of the Wensleydale group of churches that I've been visiting recently, and this is the final one actually. If you haven't been to this channel before, my name's Paul and I visit pipe organs all over the place wherever I can get in. So if you haven't subscribed already, I'd be ever so grateful if you would hit that subscribe button and join me on some of these visits. But for now, let's have a look at the organ. So I finally come to this church after various comments and suggestions that I do come here and look at it for its historical value. But it is actually quite a nice little organ for a church, a small remote church. It does seem to do the job. This organ was built in 1827 and it was originally a house organ. It was in a hall, I believe it was called Constable Burton Hall, which is somewhere near Leyburn, not very far from here. But in 1893 this organ was transferred to this church and has been here ever since. It's certainly in need of a lot of work. A lady in the church has just been telling me that they are planning on having the organ restored, funds allowing. It is obviously a tracker action organ. As you can see, the manuals, there are a lot of the key coverings are missing, assumably lost. The pedal board is only an octave and a half from bottom C up to tenor F. There is a ratchet swell pedal here on the left. As you will be able to see, this organ is all enclosed apart from the very bass stops, which are around the back. The rest of the history you can find in the link, which is on the National Pipe Organ Register, and I'm going to put that down in the description for you to look at your leisure. But let's start on the stops. I'm going to start here on the right hand side, and the first stop is a flute, simple as that, and I believe it's a 4-foot. And that actually does go all the way down to the bottom. Oddly on this keyboard, G sharp or A flat, depending on which school you went to, is actually missing. It just goes from A to G, there's nothing in the middle. But there we go. So that was the flute. The next stop here on the right hand side is a principal. It is a 4-foot. Again, that goes all the way down to the bottom. Let's just try that with the flute and see what it sounds like. Not loads of power, but surprisingly it's very in tune. I think I mentioned on the last video or the video before, whichever video it was, that Spink seems to leave organs very much in tune, and this organ is also looked after by J.M. Spink, who I believe is due here on Monday, and again it's really nicely in tune. Next we have a stop diapason treble. I'm guessing goes from middle C, actually goes further. So it goes down to tenor G. just out of interest, let's try that with the principal 4 foot. Not bad. The next stop, and the stop nearest to me, is a Dulciana. I'm not sure where this one stops. At the G again. Feels quite strange stopping at G. I'm kind of trying to go further or not as far, but there we go. That's all the stops on the right hand side. An 8 foot Dulciana, an 8 foot stop diapase and treble, the 4 foot principal, and of course that 4 foot flute. All pretty nice. I'm going to shuffle around a little bit now to the 3 stops here on the left. Nearest to me, we have the other half of the stop diapase, and it's the stop diapase and bass. I assume this goes from G, well, G flat, F sharp. Let's try that with the treble. I said this organ is nicely in tune. That certainly isn't. Thankfully they're coming on Monday to knock it back into tune. Next, unfortunately the stop head has come away, but that tells me that it is an open diapason. Stops at tenor C. And the final stop here on the left hand side, would you believe it, is a 2 foot. Woohoo! And it's a 15th. I'll be interested to know what this sounds like. Let's try that with the open. Again, that's why I like 2 foots. It just adds that brightness, adds that little bit of joy to the sound, and just lifts everything up a little bit. That's why I like 2 foots. A couple of videos ago, more than that, I asked about a mystery stop. I can't remember which church it was now or which organ it was, but it had a stop that was confusing me, and it's here again. It's this stop right next to the pedals on the right hand side. It is a toe piston or a toe pedal of some description. It doesn't seem to press. I've no idea what it is. I'm guessing that it's somewhere for the organist to pump the air themselves while they're playing. There is also a hand pump on the right hand side, but this organ is now run with an electric blower, so both of those are irrelevant if that's what they are. Maybe tell me in the comments what you think they are. I think it's a foot pump. So what I would like to do now is just have a little go on this tiny little organ. It is a little bit out of tune here and there. I'm warning you again in advance, just to see what sort of sound it makes. I can't really go any further than just a hymn tune, I don't think, but let's give it a go and let's see what it sounds like. So for its size, for its location, for its age, it's quite nice actually. I'm not sure I would like to play it every Sunday and other than just on hymns, but it's pretty nice. I find this a little bit strange, but I understand why it's there, and I think it certainly does the job. I'm very grateful to the people here who have kindly let me into the church this afternoon. Thank you for watching. If you haven't hit subscribe already, then please do consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, I shall see you later. Bye for now.